I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Let's see. I look to see how many of you there are so far. 3 watching. So, thanks for coming. I'm really excited about this website launch. I think it looks good. Jess, the audiobook worm, did the finishing up. Alex Tate did the preliminary work, and I'm really grateful to both of them for helping out with this, and I'm excited for what it could do for sound booth theater. First of all, let's see. I'm not sure if it's up yet. We just did a little tiny update, so if you are watching the stream on the website, you might want to refresh it real quick. Jess is doing a little update, and we're actually, well, it looks like it's not ready yet, but it'll be updated in just a minute. And Michael Ryan Soilo, the notorious critic of sound booth theater, not sound booth theater, of lit RPG, has written an editorial. I hope you guys like it. It's going to be up pretty soon. Maybe just check after the stream is over. Jess is working on putting it up right now because Michael Ryan Soilo got it into us last minute, of course. But that's totally fine. I'm hoping to have maybe every 2 weeks an editorial like this written by an author or I'm probably going to have Michael Ryan Soilo do a lot of them because I just love his opinions. I love the way he thinks about things. He's highly analytical. Actually, I don't know what you guys think about this idea, but I was thinking about actually narrating the editorials that get submitted to us for putting on the website. So let me know what you guys think about that. Like I could narrate it, put it on SoundCloud, or whatever, maybe YouTube, since YouTube's going to be like unlimited content. Put it on the site, and then just have the article below it, because actually Michael Ryan Soilo added some sound files, like as examples of what he's talking about. So we're going to have that. Annie and I have been recording a lot of video here at VO Atlanta, and we're going to be putting together a video for the first edition of Sound Booth Theater on the Road. It's is anyone else having trouble with video? It looks like Truffle's having problems. But that show is gonna. I'm gonna do my best to find other narrators who are interested in hanging out with me. I'm gonna drive to wherever they are in the country and take a look at their booth. Take a look at all the stuff that they've that they're working with, all their gear. Maybe get them to do a little bit of narrating in their booth, just to show what they're all about. Get some interviews in with them. Go hang out with them. Go out on the town. Maybe go to a bar or a restaurant or something like that. Yeah, just something fun to get to know other narrators better. So that's the plan for the site. More content's coming up. If you guys, and another thing that I want is more feedback from you guys on the Facebook group. If you want to leave comments, like I actually posted about the website being up, so I'd like to see some feedback from you about what you think of the website. Be completely honest, and tell us what you think would be cool stuff to have on the site as well. At some point, I want to have like a comment section, like a way for everyone to have conversations on the website. And another thing that we're doing is a street team. It's a new thing. Actually, on the website, you'll see there's a link to sign up for the street team. It's probably going to be a month before we're ready to get launching on that. But we're going to be doing some interesting things. We're going to be giving away swag. We're going to get some Sound Booth Theater swag made up. Maybe some swag for the IP of the authors that we produced for. And those are going to be prizes for our street team, for people who go that extra mile to spread the word about our new releases and spread the word about new releases from our authors. And we're going to have some opportunities to listen to the audiobooks before they're released on Audible. We're going to be pretty selective about it. Probably only 10 people per project are going to be able to listen before it comes out on Audible. But we're also going to be giving you codes so that as soon as you're done, as soon as it actually is released on Audible, you can leave reviews. So we'll have reviews right off the bat. So I'm really planning on this website being a lot of fun. And the last thing that we're planning that I haven't really talked about in public too much is the potential to be able to distribute audiobooks straight through the site, which would mean that your audiobooks would be cheaper, and we'd be able to get more funding. We'd be able to get more out of each sale, so that we get better funding. The authors get more per unit as well, and you guys can get higher quality audio. So that's all coming up, guys, and that's what this website's about. I mean, right now, I think it's pretty much bare bones, but you can still search through, find all the audiobooks, find all the authors that we're working with, and I think it's more fun to browse through there than through Audible, right? It's more organized, and it'll be easier for you to find what you want. So yeah, again, leave comments, guys, in the Facebook group. Let us know what you think of the website and what ways you think what you'd like to see in the future. So right now, I'm still at VO Atlanta. I'm at the actual the airport hotel that it's being held at. As you can see, it's a pretty cool looking hotel. It's got this really cool balcony system. It's not as cool as there was this one hotel that I was kind of wanting to go to that's here in Atlanta where they filmed the Hunger Games, and it looks like this giant dragon rib cage or something, or it kind of reminds me of a spaceport from Star Trek or something. But yeah, I'm here with a bunch of voice actors everywhere, and I'm about to do some voice acting just like out of the blue. Let's see, Annie should be showing up sometime soon. Lori said she'd stop by for a little bit, and Justin James said that he's going to be dropping in maybe an hour. So we're just having a little party here, and your guys' requests are in. I don't think I'm going to be able to do more than like 2,000 words for each one, just because I want to keep this stream down to maybe 2 hours. I know I said I was going to be doing maybe 3 hours when I first posted, but we decided to come out to this VO Atlanta thing last minute. So the fact that I'm mobile right now, and the fact that there's other stuff going on, and we need to get to other things that are happening tonight. I can't spend as much time with you guys as I'd like to, but I'm really excited to revisit some of these scenes that you guys requested. Now, if the people that requested, or if anyone can help, if you have the actual Kindle versions of the book and you can find the scenes for me, that would be really helpful, because I actually didn't have time. It took me way longer to set up for this than I thought it was going to. There was some roadblocks, and so I just didn't have time to look up all those scenes. I know where there are a few. So if anyone can help out in the chat, tell me what chapter we're looking at for each request, I would really appreciate it. Just to remind you guys what we're doing today. Let's see. I got to look at the poll. Fantasy Online by Harmon Cooper. Anything with Hiccup. Well, that's going to be relatively easy, but I think I'm going to go for something in Polinia because that's when Hiccup really goes nuts. We got Delver's LLC, Obligations Incurred, the Super Saiyan Jason scene. I think I can find that. The sausage fight scene, I'm not exactly sure where that is. So if you guys can help me out with that, I kind of don't even remember that. So if you guys can remind me where that is, that'd be great. For Luxat strategy, we have when old ones attack. Let's see. I think there is a little more of a. I think there was a little more of a. The giant battle sequence with a kaiju style old one at the end. Okay, so I remember where that is. So you guys don't need to worry about that. And feedback loop, anything with Aiden and Quantum. And then Morningwood. First human encounter. That's going to be super easy too. So if you guys can help find some of these spots, or make a specific suggestion for a Hiccup scene in Polinia, that'd be great. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Morningwood, and then I'm going to go to Secret of the Old Ones, since I know where that stuff is. Then we'll see what other scenes we go to next after that. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to kind of walk around with this computer a little bit. I've been sitting here in this spot for a while, and my computer battery kind of is running out faster than I was hoping it would. But I'm going to find another spot, maybe lower downstairs, with a view outside to the planes that are right outside the hotel. It's kind of cool. You'll probably be able to see them taking off and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Where's Annie? All right. This off. You guys will get a little look at the hotel. I kind of move around to the other people a little bit. I wish I could stay right here because I think the view's pretty cool. I want to move down to where I can recharge the computer while I'm going though. Stuff in my pockets. And we're good to go. So, as you can see, there's a lot of VOs everywhere. Oops. I'm like getting tangled up in chairs. There's Jeffrey Kafer. And yeah, lots of legends around. Cool folks. Everyone here is so ridiculously friendly. I love them. I love hanging out with VOs. Oh no! That section is blocked off for us. Now? How the hell are we supposed to get anywhere? I'm gonna keep looking for a good spot. All right. You mind if I take this seat, because I need to charge here. Thank you, sir. All right. Well, that kind of got ruined, guys, because there's a party upstairs, and they've taken the seats next to the windows. And this is all super dark for some reason.
Oh, you got the sit here, put your laptop there. Right?
Yeah.
You got the sun. Yeah, that's it.
There we go. People will be coming through. There's Lori. They're broadcasting. Lori's here. Do you want to do a scene from Morningwood with me?
Sure.
Okay.
I read this. Should I read this Morningwood?
No. Morningwood's already out. It's probably my most notorious title. Let me see if I can elevate this thing a bit. Say again?
This might be a good time after we do this to go get my bottle of wine.
Ah. Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's anyone saying anything important. Sim says hi. How loud are the planes? I've never heard a plane. The whole time I've been
I
there.
heard them while we were recording our group challenge.
Did you?
Suddenly they were a problem.
Suddenly.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Is that Fraser from Diego Atlanta?
Fraser? I don't know. I never met him.
Unrecognizable, but I think it's him.
I never met him.
He's like 23. I think he gained much
Okay. All right. So, Morningwood. Let's pull that up.
Let's pull that Morningwood right up.
Let's pull that Morningwood right up. Okay. So, the request was for the first human encounter, but that's really short. That's like the prologue is like 2 or 3 pages, maybe. So we're gonna do chapter 1. So Lori, you will be the you'll be the sister.
Okay.
All right.
Is that
That's her first line. Looks like.
any context here? She just got a normal voice.
She's a ditz. Okay. So I think what we'll do. We'll start part 1.
Okay. Is Annie joining you?
Eventually. I don't know where she's at. All right. Chapter 1. Death comes in many forms. Part 1. After enjoying its first meal, the mimic let out a small burp and went back to pretending to be a treasure chest. It had spent the first 5 days of its life in this very spot, patiently waiting for a chance. Having fulfilled its purpose, it simply continued to sit there, slowly digesting its victim. Mimics were very good at imitating chests. Sight alone was insufficient to determine if this monster was the genuine article or not. After all, it looked exactly like a wooden box that was 80 centimeters long, 35 centimeters tall, and 40 centimeters on its side. Its skin was a light oak-like faux wood with imitation steel reinforcing its corners and a half-cylinder lid that served as its upper jaw. However, it could not keep calm like before. Although sightless, it could still perceive everything in a 10-meter radius around it through magic, and what it saw left the simple monster with an odd sense of dissatisfaction. Its flat resting place was now a mess. The torn clothing, discarded sword, still lit lantern, and several puddles of blood were a problem. Some part of it realized it would be bad to leave things as they were. Several dozen small insect-like legs sprouted sideways from its bottom and lifted a few centimeters off the ground. It then opened its mouth and let its huge red tongue fall out. It spent the next several minutes scuttling around the place, determined to erase any and all evidence that someone had died there. The blood was lapped up, and the scraps of fabric simply stuck to the wet tongue. The fleshy tendril-like organ coiled itself around the lantern before swallowing it whole. When it attempted to pick up the iron sword in the same way, the mimic tightened its tongue a little too much around the blade and cut itself. "Hiss!" it exclaimed at the unexpected jolt of pain. It reflexively let go of the sword, which fell to the floor along with several drops of sticky yellow blood. "You have suffered a shallow cut. HP -4. Another strange window popped up into its consciousness. Although it somehow understood the words, it lacked the brain capacity to process their meaning. Not that it had any intention of doing so right now. The sword was still a problem that needed to be dealt with. It approached the inanimate weapon warily, carefully observing it. It was a normal iron sword, completely mundane and entirely unmagical in every way conceivable. As expected of the beginner's equipment. Not that a level 2 monster had any idea what it actually was. The mimic recalled the way its breakfast had struggled a little while ago. The adventurer was holding on to this strange object without hurting itself. His fingers were wrapped around it, much like how the mimic attempted to do. The only difference was that the mimic had grabbed the pointy end by mistake. Realizing its blunder, the monster warily stretched out its tongue again. However, the fleshy organ was a bit too thick to properly grip onto the short handle. The creature briefly considered this fact before simply warping its wide tongue into a more tentacle-like shape. Mimics were, technically speaking, a species of shapeshifter. Granted, they were not as good at it as other monsters. Something like warping their tongue or sprouting small legs to move around was the extent of their ability. Now that its tongue was in the proper shape, the animated chest wrapped it around the handle of the sword. It picked it up safely and held it above itself. Its numerous legs moved in unison, rocking the chest-like body left and right like it was doing a little triumphant dance. Actually, you want to do the prompts too?
The intelligence attribute has been created through a special action. Intelligence +1.
Another mysterious window. It completely ruined the mood, causing the mimic to stop its little celebration. Still, it now vaguely understood the thing it was holding onto was a weapon. It moved it around by using its tongue in lieu of an arm. Brimming with curiosity, it swung the sword downwards onto the floor.
Clang!
The blade slammed into the stone floor, letting out a clear bell-like sound that echoed through the cave. There was a tiny crack in the floor, which didn't escape the mimic's notice.
Did you hear that?
The distant voice made the mimic freeze. It had gotten carried away with its new toy and attracted attention. "Yeah, I definitely heard something. Come on, let's go check it out." Another voice followed. Although it didn't understand the words, the mimic clearly recognized they were moving closer to its location. It quickly retreated back to its spot and sat down. However, there was a serious problem. We're doing a reading. We're doing a reading.
Is that right?
Yeah. However, there was a serious problem. It was still holding the sword with its tongue. It had serious doubts whether it should try to eat it, and there was nothing around that could be used as a hiding place. Not sure of how much time it had, the mimic did the only thing its tiny mind could think of. All right, so first of all, guys, we just made it through a little bit. How's everyone? Can everyone hear? All right. Harmon's here. We can all drink now. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any complaints.
Yes.
No complaints yet. Okay. All right. So here goes part 2. 2 sets of footsteps approached from one of the tunnels. The mimic followed its instincts and stood perfectly still, lying in wait. A man and a woman entered its perception range. The blonde man was holding a sword and a lantern, wearing similar clothes to the monster's first victim. The brown-haired woman wore a plain white robe and held a wooden staff with one hand. "Oh, the chest!" the man exclaimed. He approached the mimic with a rather carefree gait.
Hold on, Ron. It could be a trap.
The woman grabbed onto her companion's collar while warning him of danger. A trap? Come on, Gloria! It's a box! What's the worst that could happen?
The rumor said something about mimics appearing in this dungeon recently. Monsters that look like chests? You can't be careless.
Wait, this place is supposed to have only bats and rats, right? How come there's mimics all of a sudden?
I don't know, but should we be careful? Our lives are on the line, you know.
Gloria's green eyes darted between her brother and the chest. While new types of monsters appearing in a dungeon was not unheard of, it was still quite rare. The cause of such changes was unconfirmed, although the likely culprit was the appearance of a new dungeon master.
All right, sis, tell you what. Your big brother's going to stab the big mean box just to be sure, okay?
Ron reassuringly patted Gloria's head.
Wait, what's that?
Maybe
This is MMWU.
Yeah.
Don't patronize me like that. We're not kids anymore.
Fine. I was just kidding. Sheesh.
The mimic had no idea what was going on right now. Its new prey had shown up and stood idly by instead of going straight for the prize like the first one. It heard the voices and saw the faces, but understanding what these people were saying and doing was impossible. Then the slightly plumper one started approaching again. However, this time, something was off. The man was holding a sword, something the mimic had already recognized as dangerous. And this sword was not hanging idly by the adventurer's side, but was held squarely in front. The mimic instinctively understood that its prey had grown suspicious, and suspicion was a shapeshifter's worst enemy. Ron approached closer and closer. Once he got within striking distance of the chest, he slowly lifted his sword arm up in preparation to slash at the wooden box. Worst case scenario, he blunted the blade a bit. Best case scenario, he avoided a deadly trap. Even if a fight broke out, he was confident his swordplay could handle the weaklings in this cave. The mimic, on the other hand, had extremely limited knowledge of sword fighting. It knew exactly two things about the subject. The pointy bit hurts, and swinging it downward can break rocks. Both of those tidbits made it realize just what was about to happen. It felt cornered, and like any cornered beast, it lashed out. Just as Ron was about to perform an overhead strike, the wooden chest before him sprang open, and amidst the rows of serrated white teeth and the undulating fleshy tongue, there was a flash of something shiny, followed by a piercing pain in his abdomen. He screamed at the top of his lungs. The mimic had stabbed him clear through the stomach. The mimic was a monster that survived on deception. It instinctively knew leaving evidence behind was bad, that it had to appear as unassuming and unspoiled as possible. But eating this weapon was dangerous, possibly lethal. So, with nowhere else to put it, the monster ended up hiding it in its mouth cavity while gripping onto the handle with the tip of its tongue. And now, those trustworthy instincts caused it to lash out and land a devastating blow on its unsuspecting victim.
The Strength STR attribute has been created through a special action, STR +1. The Wisdom attribute has been created through a special action, WIS +1.
Just read it as strength and dexterity. Like, just read it as it's supposed to be.
Proficiency level increased. Sword Mastery is now level 1. Strength +2. Dexterity +2. Run! Shouted Gloria. Hold on!
She gripped the wooden staff with a determined expression and mumbled something under her breath. As she completed her incantation, her hands glowed with a soft light.
Quick heal!
After uttering the command word, the light shot out towards her brother, enveloping him.
I heard it.
However, it was not enough. Even if a low-leveled priest like her could not mend that sort of injury with one cast, she could still buy time to get off another quick heal. Ron sputtered out blood. He felt reinvigorated by his sister's healing magic that restored a sizable chunk of his rapidly depleting vitality. He used that bit of her dear... What? He used that bit of strength to swing his sword arm downward, but couldn't put any real power behind the blow. With just gravity to assist it, his sword simply bounced off the mimic's solid teeth with a small clanking sound.
You suffered a minor scratch. HP -1.
Having been attacked, The mimic broke out of the stupor it had been in. It knew about swords now. The knowledge that flooded into it from the skill was almost too much for its tiny mind to bear, so it took a while for the monster to adapt it.
Quick heal!
Came a shout from the side. Its enemy had regained a bit of strength again and was about to attempt another strike. However, the mimic already had him in checkmate. It pulled on the sword with a bit of dexterity and, instead of sliding it out of its fleshy sheath, it dragged its victim into the mimic's waiting maw.
Crunch! No, run!
Shrieked Gloria, her voice echoing in every direction of the dark passage.
Crunch, munch!
Her dearest older brother, that goofy but reliable guy, was now being eaten right in front of her. Blood and guts gushed out all over the place as his thrashing feet went limp.
You!
She screamed. She was outraged. That much was obvious. However, she was a newbie priestess and her offensive magic was practically non-existent. If her opponent was one of the undead, then she might be able to do something. Against this particular monster, though, she was helpless. Not that her mind could process that right now.
I'll kill you, piece of shit!
She was too busy screaming in grief and anger to do anything else. The mimic stopped chewing once it made sure its prey was good and dead. It spat the mangled corpse back out and readied its sword. The tiny legs at the bottom reappeared, and it scuttled quickly towards the shrieking woman. It was over. Gloria had realized her folly entirely too late. She stared in abject horror as the mass of teeth and flesh in front of her swung a bloodied weapon around. She somehow mustered enough strength to turn and run away, but was too slow. The mimic pierced through her chest from behind.
No, I don't. Please.
She struggled weakly, desperately begging for salvation. Such a thing wouldn't come, though. All that awaited her was despair and a large number of sharp teeth.
Crunch. Level up. Level up. Congratulations. You are now a level 4 mimic. All attributes +4. Proficiency level increased. Sword mastery is now level 2. Strength +2. Dexterity +2.
All right. That's it for Morningwood. Yeah, there's a sausage. The fight scene is in the end of chapter 26 where Tanker is tossed in the sausage machine. Okay.
No, I didn't sign up for a sausage fight. I don't
No,
read erotica.
there is no sausage. You don't need to do a sausage fight. Oh, that's okay. So yeah, that was Morningwood, guys. Let's see, we got 8 people watching. Harmon, what's Harmon saying? Oh, cool. Harmon's showing me some stuff he's been doing for some music for one of our audiobooks. I can't wait to get started on that one. So yeah, that's our first request. What's next? Let's do Secret of the Old Ones.
Okay, I can see around a little longer if you want, but not long.
You can head out if you want to. It's all good. Thank you.
Good to see you guys, even though I don't see you.
Yes. Too bad we can't see you. All right. So Annie's still not here. It's okay. She'll be here later. It's all good. Thank you. Nope. Let me mute this. All right. And I'm turning it up because Justin should be showing up at some point. All right, we're getting more battery charged here. I want to move. This place is a little too loud, and background's kind of boring. Like seeing people walking around. They're all voice actors though. All right, so let's go for Secret of the Old Ones. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? For this one, I'm going to just do the setup to the fight because there's more character work there. It's going to be a little more fun for the actual Sound of Theater Live aspect of it.
From the app thing. Social media. Yeah, you know what?
Sorry, guys. Just kind of wondering any app or
And
any app.
Oh, you know what? No, it's very different. It's MITT. Never mind.
I'm seeing if I got any texts from her or anything. Nope. Okay. So let's go ahead and start on this one. As soon as he saw the train in the distance, Vale and the rest of his group. This is Secret of the Old Ones. The setup to the crazy kaiju scene. As soon as he saw the train in the distance, Vale and the rest of his group hurried forward, trying to be as sneaky and quiet as possible. Since they were crossing railroad tracks and an open area on the outskirts of the Abyssal One's player base, Vale was cringing during the entire shuffle run. By the time they all reached the shrine, his anxiety level was overwhelming. He blew out a sigh of relief as he began inspecting the ugly structure. At least now they were all in some shade. It helped him feel a bit less exposed. What are you supposed to do? Oh, wait. Bartholomew? I'm trying to remember who Bartholomew... Oh, that's right. What are you supposed to do? Whispered... Okay. What are you supposed to do? Whispered Bartholomew. I don't fucking know. Leave me alone so I can figure it out. Vale snapped. Go guard or something. Bart shrugged. Okay, but we don't have forever before the train gets here. Vale just growled. He ignored the rest of his group and walked all the way around the shrine. It was about 10 feet by 10 feet, and even more disturbing up close. Finally, as Vale had almost gone all the way around the Navi exterior, a small section of the structure opened like a mouth. Vale recoiled away before steadying himself, slowly peering inside. He saw a glow, and a system message appeared. You have found the power of the prince. While Lord Hygon is sleeping, you can steal this power, but he will wake up and try to get it back. The power of the prince contains a dark power and a light power. Light power adds inventory space, allows weapons to be stored in internal inventory, grants +3 attribute points. Dark power elevates one weapon to the legendary realm, changing it permanently. This special ascension process will cause the weapon to be soul bonded to the player for all time. Weapon cannot be looted. Do you wish to take the power of the prince? Vale took a deep breath. Wow. Okay, guys, I found it. You all ready? The entire group nodded their heads. All right, here we go. Vale chose yes. The light left the hole in the shrine, almost like it was being breathed out. The hole closed as the light left, shutting with a snap. Vale watched as the light separated into bright and dark glowing orbs. Suddenly, 5 bright orbs flashed out, hitting all 5 group members. 3 dark orbs followed, slamming into Vale, Abigail, and Bartholomew. A number of status windows popped up. Vale glanced at them, throwing his stat points into intelligence, stamina, and luck. He wanted to make sure his points were allocated right away in case he leveled later. It'd be a shame to miss out on more health or mana. Next, he closed all the status windows except the one that required his attention. Which weapon would you like to imbue with the power of the prince? Dark power. Vale had seen the previous window, so he wasn't surprised that he had to choose an existing weapon to be enhanced. He realized he should have warned Abby and Bart. Oh well, too late. Oh wait, I think we're finally entering a plane now. How is the sound, by the way, guys? It's What's up, Tajel? All right, just checking in with you guys, seeing if you have any complaints about the sound or anything. Okay. Vale had seen the previous. He chose the Rapier of Twilight. He smiled as he did so. He'd been through a lot with his sword. It seemed right somehow that he let it grow with him. Your weapon has become the legendary Rapier, Yorick's Will. Yorick? I don't remember how to pronounce that. It has absorbed a shard of the god Yarik's essence. Please choose attributes for Yarik's will. He whistled in surprise as a new menu appeared with attributes, each listed with a numeric cost. You know what? I think I'm going to move over to a table over there. It's not any worse view.
Do you have a mic? Yeah, salary for a video.
All right, looks like there's a plug over here I can use. Slightly less noisy. Let's see what your view is. Okay, that's a little bit better. The sound might be better from my reading as well. I don't know where Annie is. I'm gonna text her. Oh, there she is. She tried calling. You can come in and do the Russian girl's voice. I forget her name. Abby? Oh, Minerva is her. How did I flip so many pages? He whistled in surprise as a new window appeared with attributes, each listed with a numeric cost. He had 10 upgrade points for his new sword and immediately understood what he was supposed to do. After some careful thought, he began choosing the abilities he wanted. As he chose, his eyes widened and he suddenly remembered the upcoming fight. Hey Abby, Bart, don't finalize your weapon abilities yet. Let's all do it at the same time so nobody is rushed before the boss shows up. I don't remember what Abby sounds like. Is she kind of squeaky? Does she have a pretty high voice? Does anybody else remember? I kind of want to wait for her to, because she's in theory gonna be here pretty soon. Maybe I'll call. You know what, guys? We may even. This is Secret of the Old Ones. Hey. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep, she's coming. Yeah, I mean, it's already 6:30, 6:45, and there's going to be stuff going on at about 8 o'clock. So I may need to split this sound booth theater in half. So we'll do, let's see. We'll do Luckstat. We'll finish up Luckstat, and then we'll do Fantasy Online here, because that'll be fun to do with other VOs around. Has anyone found a good place for Hiccup? Harmon, why don't you pick a scene for the Fantasy Online one? Fantasy Online request. Just think, you got some time. We're reading Secret of the Old Ones.
Okay, that's fine, but we need to hurry,
Abby said. She pointed in the distance where some curious players were watching them. Even at such a long distance, Vale could see there was something wrong with their bodies. They had to be abyssal ones. Abby continued.
It's only a matter of time until they go get their friends.
I really can't remember what her voice sounded like. Vale nodded. Okay, let's hurry. The train is almost here, too. Following his own advice, Vale made sure he had made the correct selections. He waited before hitting accept. Ready, called Bartholomew.
I'm ready,
called Abigail, smiling. Okay, get ready for anything, called Vale. Let's do it. He hit accept on his menu and the sword at his side started glowing. However, he didn't have a chance to watch it transform. The entire ground began to shake and he felt something waking up under the distant waves. Go, 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 yelled Bart. Brutus and Minerva led the charge to the approaching train, vaulting up onto a flatbed car. Because they were first, Vale saw their faces as he climbed up after, their horrified expressions fixed on the sea. Vale turned around as soon as he was on the train and almost wished he hadn't. Lord Hygon was emerging from the waves, and he was even more horrible than Vale could have imagined. His shark head was somehow just wrong. The proportions were off. He had as many eyes as a spider, and a spiny crest rose above his head. Only the monster's face had crested the waves, but each of his many eyes seemed to be locked on Vale. Then the creature roared, the sound making the ground tremble. Small plants died, growing black and wilting under the creature's fury. Vale's world exploded, his mind assaulted. He barely noticed his health dropping. However, suddenly Minerva's voice rang out as she used her emboldened subclass skill. Okay, there she is. Hi! What's up? Hey, you want to do some Sound Booth Theater live? I'm streaming right now. Yeah. You wanna do some narrating?
Do some narrating?
Yeah.
What?
I'm streaming right now.
You're streaming?
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Water, but I'm like,
Okay.
wave. Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Here comes
Look
Annie.
up in here.
They want to
I'm
hear
not gonna narrate.
Empress.
I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm already on the screen.
Here we go.
Hello. Greetings from
It's Joe
Atlanta.
Hempel.
What's up, everybody?
So
Rio, Atlanta.
we all got tags. That makes us so cool. Look at how fashionable that is.
They're going to put the chip in the wrist.
Yeah, I think that's
This
gonna
is
be a
the
better
last
option.
year of the
I don't know what you
hanging
guys think.
lanyard.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. So okay, so we're narrating Secret of the Old Ones. If you're interested, we can do characters. And you can do narration, or you can bitch. I don't care. It's up to you.
I'll do a page.
Okay, we'll do a page.
I'll do a page. All right. I'll do
Look
a page.
at you.
All right. So real quick, Annie's gonna go get some water, right? Yeah. Okay, she's gonna go get some water, and then when she gets back,
Okay.
we're gonna start up.
All right.
Okay, so she's got
Melissa,
a.
come on. You gotta do this too.
What?
You want to do a
You gotta
character?
do this too. Come on. Come on. You gotta do this too.
You guys recognize her?
I-
Melissa Moran, right?
I have no idea who you are.
Ah, okay.
Yes, Melissa Moran.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure some of you guys have listened to her audiobooks. She's been around for a while.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. Okay. So actually, the book that I'm reading
Okay.
right now is called Secret of the Old Ones. It's a little RPG based in a H.P. Lovecraft type world.
Oh, fun.
So they're on a train right now,
Uh-huh.
and they're basically running away from this thing called Hygon,
Yes.
which just came out of the water and is chasing after them. And there's like all these, I can't remember what they are. They're like octopus type demons chasing after them.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry guys, we're just waiting for just a second for Annie to get out of some water.
I've
I hope she
actually
shares.
never
I'm thirsty.
narrated a lit RPG.
You did what?
I've never narrated a lit RPG.
They are
All right,
fantastic.
you should try it. Okay, here goes.
Okay. What is my character?
Okay, so you're Minerva.
I'll just stand over
Minerva's
my shoulder
Russian.
and loom.
Minerva's Russian?
Russian, yes.
Oh no!
Yes.
What are you? You're throwing me under the bus, man.
No, I'm not. You do all good. You do pretty good with Russian. Don't be
Russian?
so with Russian. Okay.
You know.
All right. So we're gonna let's just start here. Then the creature word.
See. Okay, so
You gotta project because we don't have. The
yeah.
mic.
Well, I mean, I don't know where the story is and where it's going. I kind of
Okay.
know a little bit. So, all right,
Okay.
I'll go. I'll just go. Then the creature roared, the sound making the ground tremble. Small plants died, growing black and wilting under the creature's fury. Bale's world exploded. His mind is salted, barely noticed his health problem. However, suddenly Minerva's voice rang out as she used her emboldened subclass skill.
What are you looking for? So, I'm sorry.
That was
What are you all looking so weak for? Oh, this is nothing, you dickless cowards. Hold your heads high and prepare to fight. The best part of you was flushed down the toilet.
Bale squeezed his eyes shut, shaking off the confusion. He knew about the emboldened skill, that it required a verbal component. He wondered if Minerva had needed to be so colorful. Apparently, he hadn't been the only one to wonder about that. Abigail yelled,
Okay. You'll be Abigail. She's like this cute badass Asian chick.
Oh, okay. I don't have a dick, bitch. Yell something less stupid next time.
Bale grinned, throwing back a health potion. In SOO, health potions were expensive, and it took a while to actually punch health. In a situation like a boss fight, or a godsend,
I yell what I want to yell.
laughed Minerva.
Does this make you feel alive? Now shoot that damn thing, or you are not worth your attention. I'm so
I love
bad.
this. I love this.
Like this is like I'm ashamed of myself. Ridiculous steampunk girl.
At this point,
Bulgarian.
Bale wasn't sure if Minerva was using her emboldened skill anymore.
Isn't sure of anything anymore.
However, as long as she kept the SAN attacks from killing them all, he didn't really care. Abigail was apparently not as fatalistic about the matter as Bale. She shrieked and drew a huge Howdah pistol, aiming at the enormous monster rising from the ocean. Then Bale got to see his first legendary weapon. Abby somehow rattled off 4 shots from the 2-barreled weapon. Bale's eyebrows tried to climb into his hairline as he witnessed 4 small explosions pepper Lord Hygon around his eyes. The giant monster screeched in pain, the unholy sound making the surrounding waves surge. Lightning flashed in the sky, clouds began. Bale's mind seemed to go into overdrive as he quickly assessed his surroundings. He noticed a large crowd of Abyssal One's players leaving their town, drawn to all the commotion. He also observed dark shapes moving under the waves near Hygon, probably a spawn. He came to a series of quick decisions and began snapping out orders.
Abigail, pop a few rounds in that boxcar ahead of us to create a hole. That will give us a place to duck into if we have to avoid gunfire. After that, you're our primary damage deal on Big Ugly. Everyone else will be protecting Abby.
Okay.
That's you. You're right.
Okay, but I can't shoot exploding rounds forever. It costs mana.
That's fine.
Yelled Bale.
Just dump as much damage into that thing as you can. Brutus, you're our meat shield. Protect Abby and help your sister keep them off of us. Bart, your primary mission is support. Use potions to help people out where you can. Use lots of health stuff on Brutus to keep him fighting. Your secondary job is to use your bombs for area of effect attacks as if things get too thick. Minerva, you're our melee damage dealer. Kill anything that gets on this train, especially anything that gets within a stone's throw of Abby. Make sure the sane attacks don't make us lose our minds.
Got it. It's nice to know our leader isn't as dumb as he looks.
The swordswoman shouted, "Excuse me." Vale chose to believe she was using her emboldened skill again. Vale hollered,
I'm going to go where I'm needed, but I'll mostly be using magic.
Incoming!
shouted Abby. Vale glanced up in time to see a handful of disgusting miniature versions of Hygon scuttling towards the train. Hygon spawn had found it. Then, the hell. Vale could hear Abigail screaming as she unloaded round after round into the approaching boss. A couple Hygon spawn leaped aboard the flatbed car. Brutus and Minerva began making short work of the first one. The other creature landed near Bart. Vale's heart stopped. He thought his friend was going to die. However, Bart drew his little pistol, snarled, and fired. Vale's eyes widened in surprise. He had assumed his friend would have made his sword cane into a legendary weapon. Bart had other ideas. Dark-clothed man's pistol belched a continuous stream of fire. Glow from the flames reflected off his spikes and all the metal in his costume. Hellish. The demonic, shark-headed creature shrieked in agony, its exoskeleton charred to a crisp. Hygon spawn tried crawling away, eventually fell over the side of the train where it died beside the tracks.
Wow.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
That was amazing. Awesome job. And we had the right amount of people for this.
I
Look
know.
at that.
Yeah, great scene. And there needed to be more of you and you and you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of heavy lifting. Bart whooped and pumped his fist in the air. Vale smiled, too, until he saw the Abyssal Ones players in the distance. Some of them had flintlock rifles. Vale raced forward past his friend and began weaving figure eights with his sword. It's time for him to show off his own legendary weapon. The distant sound of gunfire accompanied flashes of silver near Vale, his sword deflecting the big, heavy bullets. His transformed sword began glowing white-silver as it deflected the musket balls. Vale got his first look at his new sword while he protected his party and grinned, showing all his teeth. Yarrick's... I don't know how to pronounce that damn word.
What's that?
Yarrick?
I don't know.
Yarrick's will, I think.
Probably Yarrick.
Yeah, Yarrick's will still looked like a rapier, but now the guard and pommel were black. Large silver crescent moon with a face and small silver stars were worked into the design of the guard. Silver wire wound around a soft, gray grip. Badass, breathed Vale. He heard his group fighting behind him, but couldn't divert his attention. Deflecting the rifle fire was taking a lot of concentration. More Abyssal Ones players were joining the distant riflemen, too. Vale started to see Lords of Finality symbols among the attacking players. Eventually, Vale counted over 100 players in the distance, all firing at his group. Luckily, none of them were good enough marksmen to overcome Vale's defense. He grinned savagely. The LOF members among all the Abyssal Ones players were going to make his next action very satisfying. Vale suddenly drew his sword back and channeled 10 mana through his hand into his blade. "Wind slash!" he yelled, cutting the air horizontally. The wide crescent of angry wind magic scythed outward. The flat wave of destructive energy hit the distant Abyssal Ones and blew up the entire hill. The attacking players were literally torn apart. Pieces of fishmen scattered everywhere, up to a couple hundred yards away. Some fell among the rampaging Hygon spawn, distracting them and causing some to turn on each other. The monsters began fighting over scraps. It was madness. Vale grinned and turned to see what was going on behind him. He dashed back to the other side of the train car, slamming his rapier into a spawn creature. His legendary blade found a soft point between the creature's chitin armor plates and effortlessly slid home. The monster shrieked and shuddered. Sorry. Oh my god.
That's not water.
This is about to get interesting.
This is going to get good now.
While the Hygon spawn was distracted, Brutus ran forward and slammed his huge sword into the roof of the creature's mouth. The dead monster slumped down and Brutus knocked it off the train with a mighty kick. Vale noticed the big man was growing red like his sister. His eyes were red too, probably a sign of his legendary class. Brutus and Vale grinned at each other in a rare moment of understanding before Brutus ran at him and slammed Vale to the ground. "What the?" Vale yelled right before the entire train shuddered. An enormous tentacle had just slammed into the spot where Vale had been standing.
Holy shit!
Screamed Vale.
No time for gawking. Attack it!
growled Brutus. The man suited his words with action by jumping up and delivering a devastating two-handed cut to the tentacle. Lord Hygon screamed, a piercing noise overtaking the sound of Minerva yelling insults at the group in accented English, constantly using her emboldened skill. The boss had finally caught up and was keeping pace with the train. The entire world seemed to be exploding around Vale. He could only sit there for a moment and take it all in. What the hell did I get myself into? That's it. That's the whole chapter, guys.
It's okay, guys.
I'm gonna be working
job.
on my Russian accent tonight, guys, and we're just gonna do
Oh,
the
you're-
whole thing again tomorrow.
We probably have
Just
another
pretend
one.
this never happened.
We probably have another Russian accent here for you in a second. Okay.
My husband is actually Russian, by the way.
Is he?
Oh, nice.
He is.
Did
Now
she
I'm
do a
even
good
more
job? Did I do a good job?
You did an outstanding job.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
Yes.
We have proof. Okay, so Harmon, did you come up with a fantasy online scene? Ooh, group action. Wow, wow. Yeah, it's really awesome to have a team of people doing this. Okay. Harmon, did you find something? Okay, we're just gonna have to find something on our own then. You're fired, Harmon.
You're fired.
Yeah.
You're hired. Fired. You're hired.
Okay, so we gotta find a good hiccup scene. Pink Silk? No, that's definitely. Ooh, Chalupa versus Churro. All right, this is gonna be good.
I like it already.
All right, this is gonna be amazing.
Breakdown.
This is gonna be amazing. Okay. Chapter 6: Chalupa versus Churro. The four Mitherfickers quickly make their way to the south side of Aramis and its sprawling port, which is situated between a string of tributaries, the water from which flows over the continental shelf. The ships docked in the Aramis port range in size from small fishing vessels to cruise ships, rotating oars of which keep the ships floating in the air. A container ship with the name Maersk Alabama is currently floating into the port, the crew busy pulling up the ropes that will hold it down. Regardless of how far down the endless sea is, the smell of ocean is heavy in the air, the squawk of seagulls cantankerous. Yangu makes a barking noise, briefly interrupting the seagulls above. Shh, Luke tells the dragon as he reaches back to pet its head. The dragon's skin is ice cold, the scales on his head smooth to the touch. Zaina and Hiccup walk ahead of Ryuk, arguing in Thulian. The odd couple to end all odd couples, Zaina is twice Hiccup's height, slender, and moves with the grace of a runway model. Hiccup is vertically challenged, robust, and slightly bow-legged, his walk more of a waddle. Petwix, between Ryuk and the other two, busies himself by speaking to a few of his most loyal fans. He's a young Japanese kid.
A young Japanese kid.
You don't have to do the Japanese accent.
Well, no, I mean,
In fact, don't.
Right.
I mean, it would be funny, but he's
Cool. Sure, where's he at?
really does care.
He does care for you.
Ryuk thinks, which reminds him of the reason the Swede came to Tritania in the first place, to find out what happens to Thomas, one of his earliest fans.
Figure this out.
Ryuk thinks, and he wants to verbalize this to the Swede, but, as they have before, silence and shyness get the best of him. Okay, this is someone... Okay, this is a random dude.
Stop her!
A female elf shoulders through the Mitherfickers, tossing Hiccup into a stand outside of a souvenir shop. Frick! A machete-wielding hairball with a distended belly turns the corner. Oh, you're a goblin. This guy's a goblin.
Yeah.
His angry eyes bloodshot. He raises his weapon into the air, then into the air, stomps his foot and bellows,
Stop that thief!
Before she can get any further, the elf lifts into the air like a marionette. Ryuk looks to Zaina, and she nods. Russian.
I have him.
Russian again?
Yeah, well, okay, she's not really Russian. That's
Oh,
just
but
the
you wanna,
accent that
yeah.
we use. That's actually
I can't even.
I
that
have-
is not even
I
giving
have-
a believable.
would be what. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't
So
hear the
she's-
motion. I thought it was like some weird sultry elf, and I'm like, that's an odd place to be sultry.
Zaina says. Zaina says as the female thief struggles to free herself. High elf, level 15, HP 411 over 435, mana 251 out of 268, attack 63, magic attack 78, defense 55, Magic defense, 106. Luck, 19.
Hi, Elf.
Ryuk slowly brings his marble gun out and trains it on her. Fleetwix has done the same with his Spaz 12 shotgun.
Two.
Ryuk thinks, referencing to the icon above her head. Referring to the icon above her head. The elven female's hands begin to charge with blistering white energy. With a pumping action, Fleetwix loads a round into his shotgun. I wouldn't do that if I were you. A crowd has begun to form, but it isn't as large as one would expect,
This area is accustomed to street walls.
thinks Ryuk, as he takes a few steps back, just to give himself some range. Proximity is important, and he quickly pops the molten black mag out of his marble gun and goes for his mag of sword marbles instead. The High Elf and Zaina share similar dancer bodies, with thin torsos, larger hips, and muscled calves. Where they differ is skin tone. Zaina's green color is a far cry from the elf's pallid skin tone. Her orange hair and slitted orange eyes are at odds, too, with the elf's blonde locks pulled into a single large braid and the elf's soft blue eyes. Okay, 1 second, guys. I think Justin's trying to join.
You have some amazing friends there. Look at Joe.
Oh, shine now.
Okay, Justin's coming.
I always get excited when the video's on us. I'm like,
Hey, this is a pretty cool view, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty cool background. Okay, let's see. Back here. I don't know who I'm going to have Justin play. Maybe I'll have him take over the narration. And I'm actually going to buy this book for him real quick.
I am so fascinated right now. With every with this, yes, yes.
Gift to I gotta remember his email address. It is cool. Just showed up. He's gonna go say hi real quick and come back. What chapter are we on, guys? 6.
Don't know, but they talk about you.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. I didn't know it was going to be this long before it actually got to the dialogue, but once it gets started, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, chapter 6. All right, we're going to go ahead and go, and then he'll pop in and just interrupt us. It's fine.
All right.
Okay. Okay, I guess you're not a goblin. Oh, you're just an asshole.
Okay, that's not a stretch then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
what?
Sorry.
Oh,
No, not you.
Okay, so I'm starting there?
Yeah.
All right. You'll be coming with me. Can't wait for my boys to have their way with you.
The hairy machete-wielding man produces a pair of handcuffs and licks his lips.
But Daddy gets to go first.
As if on cue, Machete Man's 3 sons slide to a halt behind him. The family shares the ugly gene, and it appears to get worse as they age. The oldest brother has a braided mullet and a beard peppered with bits of dried food. The middleest brother, sporting a Captain Kangaroo hairdo, is missing an eyebrow due to a scar that runs from his forehead to his pockmarked cheeks. The youngest has yet to grow facial hair, but what he lacks in beard he makes up in missing teeth, pus-filled zits, and a hair lip. All 3 of them have primitive swords, wooden shields, and old leather armor. Ryuk has been around Zaina long enough to know that when her Kanoshla are retracting into her back, there's a subtle change in the way she holds her shoulders, akin to the way a person with 2 arms looks when they lower their arms to their sides.
She's letting her go.
Ryuk slowly aims his weapon from the female to the machete-wielding father and his butt-fugly sons. Who the fick tossed me into the souvenir stand? Hiccup pushes his way past the family of miscreants and growls when he sees the elf.
Some thief you are.
He tells the elven female, oblivious to the man directly behind him holding a machete.
Next time you run through a crowd, remember not to plow through them. Rather, roll off them. Move it, goblin.
Machete man growls. Hiccup's tomahawk appears in his mechanical hand.
Is it you who said that to me?
He says, pointing the little tomahawk at Machete Man.
Was it one of your frickin' inbred kids? Look, boys, you see now what happens when you fick your sister after your mom had you by ficking her brother? Bad idea, huh? When does the chain of inbreeding end? Sad.
Hiccup's face morphs from anger to general confusion.
Where the fick was I? Where's Twixie?
He turns his back to his opponents and gives Feetwix a big grin.
Twixie! You won't believe what I stole from that souvenir shop!
He produces a miniature gold statue of Empress Thune as he makes his way to the side of the Mitherfickers.
And look at the gazongas they put on this one!
Feetwix's shotgun disappears and he steps forward with his shaman staff. Not now, Hiccup. Okay, we gotta get to the chalupa conversation, goddammit. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Justin, you here yet? You slacker. Okay. I cannot allow you to take the elf, Feetwix says, his eyes black as a starless night. Leave now, before this gets ugly. Machete Man, level 5. HP 150 out of 150. Attack 36. Magic attack 18. Defense 54. Magic defense 32. Luck 3.
Piece of cake.
Ryuk quickly glances at his son's stats to find that they are all equally leveled or lower.
What are you going to do with that stuff? Part of the water? What does this say? Oh.
Staff.
What are you going to do with that staff? Part of the waters?
Machete Man asks as his sons cackle behind him.
Ha! In the sea is down there.
He flips the bird at Feetwix and points it downward. Feetwix starts whispering some mantra as he steps forward.
What the hell?
Machete Man asks as Feetwix nears him. Make Starbucks tuna corn frappuccino on sale. Make Starbucks tuna corn frappuccino on sale. Hashtag Feetwix walks at counter. Hashtag Feetwix walks at counter. Make Starbucks tuna corn frappuccino on sale. Here, you want to do? Actually, you should do the like prompts and the sound effects.
Whack. 52 HP. Whack. 52 HP critical hit.
Feetwix knocks the living shit out of Machete Man with the end of his shaman staff. He twists the staff, dips back on his heel into a warrior pose, releases a gut-wrenching war cry, and drives the staff into the big man's gut. That's actually
29 HP. Minus 29 HP.
Frick yeah, Twixie!
Zaina brushes past Hiccup and spins forward to meet two of the three brothers with her wall of blades. Seeing his opening, the gaseous goblin goes to meet the youngest of the bunch. His tomahawk smashes into the young man's shield, splintering it to pieces. The youngest swings his crappy sword overhand. Hiccup sidesteps his attack and brings his axe into an exposed bit of flab sticking out of the guy's loose leather chest plate.
Minus 38 HP.
The Mitherfickers have this. Just to make sure that the high elf doesn't go anywhere, Ryuk trains his marble gun on her for the second time in the last few minutes. She glances at him, sees the weapon, and from there turns her attention to Yangu the dragon. Okay, elf.
Yes. Sure. I'm like, I can't do a Mexican accent.
Okay, it's
I
fine.
don't want to insult anyone. Okay, where are we?
You have a dragon.
Okay. You have a dragon?
She mouths. Sure enough, Yangu's neck is extended over his shoulder. The dragon's gaze honed in on Zaina, who continues to toy with the two inbred brothers. With a smile on her face, the Thulian assassin slices through space and time, giving them two small nicks and avoiding their swipes at the very last moment. Her plan comes to fruition when the biggest of the two rears back with his sword and brings it down on his brother, Zaina stepping aside just in time.
Fratricide.
She quickly takes the head of the bigger one, and it flies into the stand outside the souvenir shop.
Insta-kill.
Hell yeah, babe! Fatality! Feetwix delivers the finishing blow to Machete Man around the same time Hiccup finishes bashing the youngest brother's skull in with his tomahawk. It is a bloody, gory mess by the time the Mitherfickers have finished cleaning shop. Now, Feetwix turns to the High Elf as EXP is doled out. Tell us why we just protected you. Hiccup immediately begins checking their corpses for loot, cursing and rattling off about Hyperborea country folk each time he comes up empty-handed.
This is someone else.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, it's the same one?
Yep.
Oh, my name is Enwei Zoltan.
The elven woman's ears press back, and she moves closer to Ryuk.
Is that really a dragon?
No. No, it's a baby Thulian. Why the frick haven't we killed her yet, too?
Relax, Hiccup.
No, wait, it's...
No, that's someone else.
I think that's Feetwix.
Okay.
Yeah. Relax, Hiccup.
Just disappointed. These fickers don't have shit.
Zaina approaches, all but one of her swords sheathed. She sizes Enwei up. She's only a few centimeters taller than the high elf, and takes her place next to Feetwix.
Cheap fix.
Hiccup laments.
Where's the family fortune?
The goblin kicks one of the bodies he's just checked. His stomach grumbles, and an eruption from his nether cheeks quickly follows.
You won't find anything on them aside from a few rupees, Goblin.
Says Enwei.
If you're looking for their loot,
She raises her finger to access her inventory list and thinks otherwise. Hiccup points his tomahawk at her.
First, I'm freaking serious here. People, the name is Hiccup. Spell it out with me now. H-I-C-C-U-P. Ha! You ever heard this one, Twixie? I-C-U-P? Get it?
He glances to Feetwix for approval and gets a tight nod.
Don't mind him.
Zaina says.
It'd be in your best interest to mind me.
Hiccup's tomahawk disappears, and he approaches the elf with his hands outstretched.
Now, if you have some loot, cough it up. Otherwise, I will personally see to it that your body is left here with the other bad hombres.
He turns to Ryuk.
These fickers were bad hombres, right?
Enwei giggles.
where did you learn Spanish?
Spanish? What the frick are you going on about?
Ryuk considers for a moment that for an NPC, Hiccup sure uses a lot of words, either correctly or incorrectly, that even he has never heard before. Something cold brushes against his neck, interrupting his thought. Yep,
Relax, Henry.
he whispers. The baby dragon yawns and blows a needle-thin icicle into the air.
How cute! Can I hold it?
Enwei takes a step closer to Ryuk.
Let's answer this question first.
Ryuk nods to Feetwix. Yeah, the Swede says. Why were they chasing you? What is it you stole from them?
They stole from me, and I stole it back from them.
What did they steal exactly?
Okay, out of the corner of his eye, Ryuk sees Hiccup giving him the wrap it up signal. The goblin points to an invisible watch. He then makes the hand gesture of a bird flying.
Holly, you get to winning.
And quick, too.
Hiccup adds.
Captain Rehab doesn't wait for anyone.
Oh, that's you.
Okay. What are the odds? That's where I was planning to go. I need to return to Catiana? Okay, I need to return to Catiana, my village.
Her nearly translucent blue eyes lock onto Ryuk.
Would you guys care to join me there?
Quest. Will you accompany Enwei Zoltan to her village? Rewards. Possible level ups and the other benefits associated with companionship. Risks. Typical risks associated with joining up with an unknown traveler.
With a flick of his finger, the map of Millennia pops up.
Catiana isn't far from Fortress. Original plan was to head to Toledo. It worked too.
Ryuk fires off a message to the guild. Ryuk.
What do you think?
Feetwix. My fans have pulled some data on her. She seems genuine. They'll keep an eye on her.
I'm fairly certain the catacombs connect Catiana to Portos. So there is bound to be a way to the city through there.
Fine.
Ryuk accepts the quest.
Oh. Enwei Zoltan Rosa, level 15, White Mystic, has temporarily joined your guild.
She's part of our guild now?
The goblin turns to Ryuk and shakes his head bitterly.
I've said this once, and I'll frickin' say it again until it sticks. Whatever happens to extreme vetting?
With that, Hiccup throws his hands into the air and presses forward. Okay, I really want to get to the chalupa scene, damn it. We're just gonna skip right to it.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Live feed.
What
What you want.
I just do whatever I want, you know.
Wait a frickin' minute.
Let's see. Where is it? It's a lot of dialogue here.
50-page chapter.
I know.
My goodness.
It's huge. I didn't realize. I wish we just started like a little bit earlier than this, instead of all the way at the beginning.
Anyway, might have to leave to call our son.
Okay.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. And for talking to our fans and for doing voices.
I'll scoot
No,
up for a
Yachty?
second. No, I'll scoot up for a second.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so Justin James can't actually get the book because I don't know, it's like bad for Canada or something. I don't understand. Let's see. Where is the damn chalupa? There it is.
I want tacos and chalupas.
Okay, here we go.
Guess who's back?
Should I take over the L?
Yeah, you should take over the elf.
You what?
So Justin, I guess he's not gonna be joining us because he doesn't have the damn Moby. But it's okay. Maybe he'll come in the next, because we're splitting this one in half. We can't finish all these requests today. There's just no way. But maybe Tuesday we'll do the rest. But we're gonna finish up this little chalupa scene.
Frickin' cheater, Twixie!
Hiccup grabs his toe knife and points it at the Swede. Cheating? How the hell am I cheating? 3 + 1 + 3 + 5 is 12.
You are supposed to let me play the last card before you stab the table.
You did play the last card, Hiccup. Zaina cracks up again.
Shut your mouth.
Oh no, that's
sorry. That's
Shut your mouth, Liz.
Oh,
Unless you'd like.
okay. So you crack up. Go ahead and
Yeah.
laugh.
Shut your mouth, Liz. Unless you'd like your boyfriend to lose his chalupa.
Enway turns slowly to Ryuk.
chalupa.
It's what he. Oh yeah.
It's what he calls his penis.
Enway bursts out laughing.
Oh, you're the funniest goblin I ever met.
Hiccup, still with his knife trained on Feetwix, turns to Enway and grins.
Go on.
Sorry. You call your dick a chalupa?
And?
Do you even know what a chalupa is? How do I explain?
She thinks for a moment and says,
A chalupa is a fried tortilla in the shape of a boat with a spicy filling. If anything, it is the exact opposite of a penis.
Are you saying that my chalupa
You
is...
should call it a churro.
Hiccup slowly turns his knife from Feetwix to Enway. It's Feetwix's turn to crack up as his fans send him pictures of chalupas and churros. I get it now. A churro is like a long cinnamon stick that looks way more like a dick than a chalupa.
What the bloody fuck is going on here?
See for yourself, Hiccup.
Holy fuck! I've had it wrong this entire time.
He gnaws on his lip for a moment and considers this.
Nope. Alternative facts. Not gonna buy it, assholes. I know fake news when I see it. Anyone can generate some art featuring a churro and a chalupa. Hell, even my inbred-ass cousin Spew Gorge can do that.
Ryuk drops his head in his hand and Enway laughs.
Keep it to yourself, Elfie.
You could actually fit a churro in a chalupa if that helps you better understand your confusion.
She offers.
What the fuck ever? Fake news. Shuffle the desk, Twixie. Shuffle the deck, Twixie. Liz, keep your ghost limbs to yourself.
Oh my.
Hiccup is the best.
Oh my.
Oh, people weren't able to see it.
Whoops.
Okay.
They couldn't see it at all. Oh, they could just hear
They
it.
could hear you though. Okay, so guys, we're gonna have to cut it short because what time is it? It's like 7:30. We're probably not even gonna get through even one more request at this point. Maybe we'd be able to, but I mean, we kind of need to get ready to do other stuff right now. Like it's kind of a break time. So yeah, I'm gonna continue this Tuesday when I'm back home in the actual sound booth. But thanks guys for coming out. I will be giving those 3-month subscriptions to, let's see, the 6 winners. Richard Hummel, I believe. I think K.L. Phelps. Whoa, two of K.L. Phelps. I can only give you one though. I'm sorry, that's kind of. But thank you so much for requesting both of them. Let's see, Truffle, you're getting one. Scott Reed, you're getting one. Ben Burkett and Peter Saucier. Saucier? Saucier?
Saucier.
Saucier?
Yeah.
Sauce.
That sounds all right.
I like the sauce.
Peter Saucier. Okay, so I will get in touch with you guys on Tuesday through Facebook Messenger when you know less chaos is happening, and I'll send you those subscriptions. So thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Go check out the new website.
Check out the new website.
Do it exactly as she's
Do
saying.
exactly as I'm saying.
Yeah. And check out Michael Ryan Soilo's article up there. Let me see if it's now up. Oh, that's not the website. Go. Oops. Oh, okay. The mailing list is at the top now. And yes, his article's in here. So check it out, guys. And I'm sure it's great. And Tuesday.